How I became a pregnant mistress at the age of 16 by a married 24-year-old narcissist.
I currently got going on with my child's father. I want to call him a sperm donor so bad. They be like, where did you meet this guy at? So I get to explaining to them. When I was younger, my mom left my dad because he was very abusive. And we moved from Detroit to a city called Romulus. And I didn't really know nobody out there or whatever. I always thought we was moving so far. It was like 20, 30 minutes away from where I was currently staying at in Detroit. My dad was very abusive to my mom. I'll talk about that a little bit later, but I want to get to how I met my child's father. So, I was younger. I was a very promiscuous teenager. And I used to, just be outside playing like a child would be doing, like 16, 15, 16, I was outside, playing. Me and my friends just like walking around the neighborhood, it was this park everybody would meet up at. We would all go to the park, and chill up there and have fun. So one day I was up there, at this park. We always be like sitting at this little picnic table or whatever. I was at the picnic table with my friends or whatever, ran into this guy or whatever. Ran into this guy. This was my child's father's cousin, so I actually thought he was cute. So I don't know what possessed me, but we had started playing curveball or whatever, like a child would do. He was older than me though. His cousin was probably I was a very developed teenager as well. So around this time I probably was 16, 17 years old. I was very developed. So I met his cousin who was playing curveball or whatever. And we playing curveball. It's a game where you throw the ball back and forth across the street, and if it hit the curve, it got to hit the curve and bounce back to the other side. And whoever make it hit the curve, I think they win or something like that. I don't know. Anywho, so for some reason I thought this guy was really cute. And remind you, I'm like 17, 16. I probably was about 16 years old at the time, or whatever. So it was like I was talking to him every time I would go outside. I would see him, just chilling around, the neighborhood or whatever. He probably was up there at the park or whatever, just chilling. I don't know. He probably was about 5, 6 years older than me. He was younger than my child's father. It's his cousin, remind you. So I really thought he was cute. So, my little fast tail self was, I guess trying to talk to him. I don't know. So me being a little silly child remind you, I was working at the time. I was working at Taco Bell. That was my first job. In order to work there, I had to get a work permit. So I know I probably was only 16 years old at the time. So when I got paid, I had went and bought this guy, my baby daddy's cousin, I had got him some some t-shirts from Foot Locker. Remember, they was like 5 for $20 or something like that. I went and got some for him, and I got him like a hat or something, like a fitted hat, and I went and gave it to him. So he was like, oh, that's nice, why you give me this? I'm like, I don't know, I just, wanted to give you something or whatever. So that's my baby daddy popped into the picture. He came out the blue, not out the blue, but like, I guess his cousin introduced me to him. I guess that's how that went. He was outside with him one day. He was my cousin. So my baby daddy started talking to me. The other guy that I thought was cute, he went off, and I don't know what happened to him, but that was his cousin. He went off. He wasn't really trying to even, I guess, talk to me. I was too young for him or something. So baby daddy came to the picture. Baby daddy was 9 years older than me. So at the time I was like 16. My baby daddy was about, 16, 27, I believe. And that's just crazy. Or 26, something like that. Yeah, my math is all, I'm not mathing right now. So anyway, he was like, why you, he was like, dang, he was like, so, I was kicking with him for like I was just a cool person, to be around. I had a good energy. People used to want to hang around me. I was cool, so he started kicking with me like, dang, he was like, I seen you got my cousin, some little t-shirts and stuff like that. Remind you, this guy is grown as fuck. I'm only 16 years old. He was 25, 26. He 9 years older than me, so y'all do the math. He like, I see you kicking on my cousin. He bought some t-shirts and stuff. He was like, it's the real shit. I'm the one that, was feeling you. I thought you was trying to get with him or something. I'm like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know you like me or whatever, I'm like, you think I'm too, young or whatever? He like, nah. He was like, you cool. He was like, I didn't even know you was that young, to be honest, or whatever, but you know, we were just cool. You know, it was, I don't know how it really went, but, you know, we ended up getting cool. So, we had ended up, we were staying in the same exact apartment complex. So that's how I met him. We all stayed in the same apartment complex or whatever. I remember it was times when, I would, you know, he was older than me, so I was still in school at the time. I was still in high school. So I was really walking in the morning time, going, you know, trying to get on the bus to go to school. This guy, and remind you, my child's father was married, and he's married to the same woman to this day. So I'm walking, going to school, you know, about to get on the school bus. It's like 7 o'clock in the morning. He out the window looking at me like, I'm looking over to the apartment where he lived at with his wife, and they had kids at the time. And he all like, you know, trying to tell me to come here. He like, come here, come here, come here. So I'm like, what's up? So he came, run out the house, whatever, came meet up, walked up to me. He was like, what you about to do? I'm like, I'm about to go to school. Like, I was probably like in the 10th, 11th grade. I don't know. He like, why don't you just not go to school and skip school and come to my house and chill with me? I'm like, don't you got a wife? He like, yeah, but she at work, whatever. She ain't gonna know to come over here. I'm like, no, I can't do that. I gotta go to school, you know. He was like, all right, well, maybe tomorrow. I'm like, okay, well, maybe tomorrow. Like I said, I was kind of promiscuous at the time, you know, but at the same token, I feel like he was taking advantage of me. He definitely was, because I was younger than him, way younger than him, and he was a grown-ass man, you know. So I believe he, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word right now, but he plotted and planned all the stuff that I'm going through with him now around this time. I believe he's a master manipulator. He's a narcissist and all of the above. You know, I didn't realize I was in the situation I was in until I got older and started realizing, like, this guy is crazy. Like, you know, anywho, back to the story. So he like, come over here. I'm like, no, I gotta go to school. You know, so it probably was a couple more times I'm going to school, walking to school, about to get on a bus early in the morning. He's trying to get me to come to his house. I was like, no. So one time it was, I think, after school, I was outside, you know, chilling with my friends or whatever. And back then, I guess I had a phone. So he called me. He was like, you want to hang out with me? I'm like, yeah, we can hang out. You know, what you want to do? Like, oh, we can just ride around, drink. You know, I'm like, drink? I'm young as fuck, but I think I was drinking around at that time. So he like, yeah, we can ride around, drink, whatever. And, you know, he had sounds in his car and stuff. And, you know, a lot of people was always scared of him because they said he was always beating people up. And, you know, he was like hardcore. And that kind of attracted me to him because, you know, I felt protected around him. So it's crazy. So I guess we ended up linking up. I remember he had took me to Culver's one day. We went to Culver's. He took me to get something to eat from there. After that, we left, and we had went to like this open field, whatever. We was doing donuts in the parking lot. We drunk as hell, having fun. Music blasting, sounds going, and I was having fun. Like, so, I'm a teenager, just like enjoying what I'm going, like this experience that I'm having. Like, you know, I never even was doing nothing like this, you know. And plus these people I'm just not meeting, you know, in this new neighborhood and everything. And I'm considering this stuff fun. My mom, she wasn't that strict, you know, when I was younger. She would let me just go and come back as I please, you know. So we riding around or whatever, the parking lot. He doing donuts, whatever. He got the music on. We drinking. I'm having fun. Like I said, I'm promiscuous, you know. And that's not even I'm not even trying to give an excuse to, you know, him want to talk to me at that age, and I was the age I was. But the fact is, like, I was promiscuous, you know. So we went there. So I think he ended up dropping me off at home. I went home or whatever. Oh, that same night we actually ended up having sex. Yes, we had sex that same night. Actually, in his car, his van, we had sex in that parking lot that we was doing donuts and stuff in. So we didn't even use protection or anything like that. So this became an ongoing thing. He would pick me up. We would always go out, ride around with him, get drunk. He would get me drunk. We would end up having sex, and it was like a thing that kept happening. One time, I remember, where was I at? I think I was over at a friend's house. He came over there. We had sex over there as well, you know. And, you know, I'm not thinking nothing about the wife or anything like that. Like, I'm just having fun. And, you know, this guy seemed cool to me. Like, I was having fun with him. He seemed like a bad person. So, you know, it was probably about, after that, a couple weeks went past. And I ain't hear from this man at all. I'm like, what happened to him? We was having fun. He was cool as hell. Like, what happened? So I ended up going to the liquor store. This was like a real small neighborhood I stayed in. And I ended up going to the liquor store. And I had ran into one of his people or whatever. So I asked him, like, actually, let me backtrack. So it was like, let's say I didn't see him in like a couple weeks. So after I haven't seen him in a couple weeks, after that, I ended up being late for my period. I'm late for my period.